In our willingness to be boss, in our hunger to buy, hear the wish of the oppressed, to at least get to be pressed in style.
Night City is a city controlled in truth by the massive megacorporations such as Militech and Arasaka. In the line, in our willingness to be bought, it suggests that in this universe Johnny sees that there are some people who are willing to be a part of this consumerist society. They fall into the trap that is sold to them by the people who run the city, the megacorporations. He says our, as he knows that he is someone who has fallen into this trap too, benefiting from it by being a rocker boy. Compare this to the next line, and in our hunger to buy. He uses the word our again, stating he is not just one of the people willing to be brought into the system. He realizes the system itself, the actual consumerist machine, has made him and everyone else hunger for the need to buy. Johnny clamors for the people to hear the wish of the oppressed, the folk of Night City, who don't have the money to fall into the consumerist pit, the ones who are willing to be bought, who have the hunger and the need like he does, but who don't have the funds or the lifestyle to fulfill it. Johnny claims you must hear the wish of the oppressed, then turns it on its head by saying their wish is to at least be oppressed in style. Everyone is in this consumerist machine, they're all oppressed, that's just life. But the hope now is that when they are being sold these goods, clothing, cyberware, fashion wear, that they at least benefit from it. That they at least get to look stylish. The people of Night City are willing to give up their freedom to live this neo-kitsch consumerist lifestyle. Oppression or style, you could say.
Freedom is slavery! You got down sold! You liquid dorsal! So profitable! Painful pastime! Paid to unwind!
Author George Orwell wrote a book titled 1984. This book is described as a dystopian social science fiction novel and cautionary tale against totalitarianism. Totalitarianism is a state of government that is centralized and dictatorial and requires complete subservience to the state. In the book, there is a quote: "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength." The quote lays out the contradicting mindset of a totalitarian society. The motto "war is peace" indicates how having a shared enemy in a war unites people, and it helps to prevent them from becoming consciously aware of the obvious problems in their own society. If people find themselves having thoughts countering the accepted government's rhetoric, they can quickly distract themselves by thinking about the war and worrying over the possibility of attack. Freedom is slavery represents the measure that anyone who becomes independent of society's control is bound to be unsuccessful. A society that is based on free will results in chaos and the development of the society. Only by enslaving yourself to the government you are free from harm and imprisonment. But if freedom is slavery, then slavery is their perceived freedom. Ignorance of strength is the need for citizens to subvert their will and the awareness to accept contradictions a government puts forth. They are expected to bury the truth and accept making ignorance to what your government is doing a strength to their society. Ignorance maintains the power of the government. It's only through ignorance that people can find the strength to live in a totalitarian society where the government oppresses them even while communicating to them how fortunate they are. Johnny using this could be in relation to how the consumerism of Night City distracts them from what is really going on under the surface. He has a quote in the game:
"This war's a people's war against a system that spiraled out our control."
He sees this as a war. Consumerism is a war, and its peace is distracting the people from what truly needs to be. The dorsal is the upper part of the spine. Calling it liquid, Johnny is effectively saying everyone who falls into the idea of freedom and slavery is someone who has no spine. that these people would pay for pastime under the consumerist machine, pay to unwind and relax, even taking a dig at how companies like Trauma Team are paid to respectively keep you alive. Without paying into the system, you still cash out, you still pay, but you pay to die.
So savage in their machine. Get up on top to privacy. So savage in their machine. Deal it all for the life supreme. So savage in their machine. Get up on top to privacy. So savage in their machine. Deal it all for the life supreme.
Johnny talks about how so savage and direct the new machine is at selling you what you think you need. They are geared to hunt down your privacy, seeing all your interests, your searches, and give you ads for things that you didn't even know you wanted, keeping you a part of the consumerist machine. He calls them so savage, but also clamours again for people to kill it all for a like supreme. The phrase a like supreme meaning a belief that all share, that is beneficial for the masses. One that is supreme for all men and women alike. Alike supreme.
Here we are now, so entertained. We aim for stupid, means we're going insane.
Gothic disorder. There's war and peace. Just a language to what they believe. Friction is power. The distance is from not knowing to knowing this.
The cyberpunk timeline and its history is pretty much the same as real life, but then it diverges during the 90s. I say this because it makes sense that Johnny may have heard the music and taken inspiration like an artist would in real life. The inspiration being Nirvana's Smells Like a Teen Spirit. In Smells Like a Teen Spirit, Kurt says, "Here we are now, entertain us, I feel stupid and contagious." Kurt uses this line to mock his fans' attitude. Teen Spirit ends up being a bunch of teenage fans that expect to be entertained. Kurt feels the pressure of this demand, and he is cynical about the selfish desires that underline fandoms. And I think Johnny Silverhand uses those words and twists it. Instead of asking to be entertained, the consumerist machine has us entertained, and now we are entertained, the corporations are ready to turn us all stupid and keep us feeding them the money for whatever they are peddling us. Just like the people in the universe addicted to new cyber were sold, new fashion was sold at the expense of their humanity. They are stupid due to the machine and its savage tactics. And some are even going insane, aka cyber psycho, due to them. He talks about how brands and corporations have made it a science to understand the language of people they are oppressing. But he gives an option about how to fight against the oppressors, changing the last line of war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, to friction is power. The strength we have is to fight back, rebel, and cause friction with our oppressors. That's a difference, or as Johnny says, the distance from not knowing to knowing this. The long journey from becoming ignorant to standing with everyone for alike supreme.
So savage and libertine. Get on down to privacy. So savage and libertine. Deal it all for the life supreme. So savage and libertine. Get on down to dignity. So savage and libertine. Deal it all for the life supreme. The life supreme.
Johnny repeats and drills the idea that you must hunt down your own dignity to fight the consumerism. You may not look the best, you may not feel the best, but it's for a like supreme. Hunt down your self-esteem. You may not look the best, you may not feel the best, but it's for a like supreme. It tells you the fight against consumerism is not easy, will never be easy, but there is no better starting point to fight than now. Literally ending the song with him screaming to you to hunt down your own dignity, your self-esteem, for a like supreme. To hunt it down now. Thank you all for watching this. This has been a long time coming. As you can tell now, there's a reason why this one was the longest one to make, because this one is probably the most deep in terms lyrically, compared to all the other samurai songs. And I've been busy with like university and all this stuff, and I didn't really have much time. But I knew this was going to be a very deep lyrical song, but it's finally done. Yeah, I might make some more cyberpunk videos. More cyberpunk content, and please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.